warm welcome to Abnormal Presence Touring Talkies. I'm Kamla Iyer. Today, our sartorial Safa takes us on a journey that started in erstwhile undivided Bengal and slowly with time has been practiced in several states in India and Bangladesh. It is easily one of the most exquisite, time and labor intensive forms of handloom weaving there is. And like good wine, it has evolved beautifully over time. Undoubtedly, today's episode is on the Jamdani. In 2013, the traditional art of weaving Jamdani was declared a UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage of Humanity. A weave that special really needs a Digaj expert. So, our guest speaker today is extremely special. He's a very dear friend who I have known for over a decade now. His passion for the craft, his tireless dedication, his creativity, and above all, his humility is what makes him so special. I'm extremely privileged to welcome designer Gaurang Shah to my show. What can I say about Gaurang that the world already doesn't know? He started his journey of reviving handloom textiles with a few looms in Andhra Pradesh and today works with over 3,800 weavers across India. His practical approach of handholding, supporting livelihoods perennially and guiding master weavers, women artisans and weavers, craftspeople, and students of handloom for the last 2 decades is his contribution in taking the Indian textiles and handloom weaves across the globe. He has a standalone store spread across Chennai, Hyderabad, Kolkata, New Delhi, Mumbai, New York, and London. He has worked with several celebrity clients in films, and he is the go-to designer for some of the most stunning actresses of our times. He has been awarded several times over, and the most recent feather in his cap is the prestigious Best Costume Design National Award in 2019 for the multilingual movie Mahanadi. It's a great privilege to welcome Gaurang to our show. Gaurang, a very, very warm welcome to you.
Thank you, Kamla ji. How are you?
I am very, very well. And, I was just saying that we probably know each other for over a decade. And the fact that I'm wearing this sari is very special for the show because this is the first introduction in my life of Gaurang. And I cherish that. I cherish the sari and I cherish the relationship. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Could you tell us what is Jamdani and can you take us through its history from its original birthplace, which we understand is erstwhile undivided Bengal, to its present day avatar, where it is and all of that?
So Jamdani originated long back. Even I don't know. I have not gone into that much history. I don't know when it was invented and how it happened and all that. Yes, it started in undivided Bengal. It is like one of the best, most beautiful weaving technique we have got. If you see, it is like when you are weaving a Jamdani sari, it is like you are meditating. I would say it's a process which you go through. Like when the weaver is sitting and weaving, he's putting his emotions, his anger, his happiness, his relationship with his immediate family who are sitting with him and weaving. It's either husband and wife sitting and weaving or a father and son. So it is the relationship which they are putting in without saying a word. Like the whole day when they are sitting and weaving, in the whole day they will hardly talk. But the coordination between their hands, the coordination between their minds, both start at the same time, both finish at the same time, both do exactly the same kind of minute weaving. It's not that one is doing a minute and one is going little haywire or so. It's the telepathy, it's the coordination which is so beautiful about this weave. Jamdani is nothing but, if you know what Parsi Gara is, Parsi Gara embroidery. It is Parsi Gara embroidery on weave, on a loom. Wow. In Parsi Gara, you take a single thread, you put it in a needle, you put it from underneath the fabric, you take it up, and again you go down. So exactly the same thing happens with Jamdani. You have the warp, you have the weft, and depending on the design, the tilli, which we call, which has the thread, the extra weft, the thread which makes the Jamdani design, you have to put it, you have to count your warp and put it underneath it, and you have to take it out. So it's basically Parsi Gara in weaving, in handloom. So in Bengal, it started there, and it came down to India. In India at present, we weave it in Andhra Pradesh, in Uppada, in Venkatgiri, in in uh, Maharashtra it is Paithani, in Rajasthan it is Kota, and then it is in Uttar Pradesh it is in Banaras, and in somewhat in Kanchi also we do Jamdani. If you see in Kanchivarams, the booties which are very far placed or separately placed, those are also woven with Jamdani technique only. So each region has its own way of interpreting Jamdani. Like in Bengal, when we give a design, the design is drawn on a graph, which becomes a reference to the Bengal weavers. They count according to the graph, they count कि हमको इतना थ्रेड उठाना है, इतना वार्प है, इतना वेफ्ट है, हमको इतना काउंट करके उठाना है और तिल्ली घुमाना है. So it is all mathematics there. Whereas in Andhra, when you come down to Uppada, they have a jala in front of the loom which holds the design. So we draw a graph for Uppada, which is say about 20 inches by 20 inches size, which is double the size than the actual design which is to be woven. So a flower, say, is supposed to be woven in 3 inches. In the graph, it is drawn to 6 inches. According to the graph, the jala is drawn. The jala helps the weaver in lifting the warp, and then he puts the tilli. So suppose a flower ka outline has to be woven, it will be about 2 threads to be lifted. So the jala will lift the 2 threads and you put the tilli. So the jala is helping you in doing the Jamdani. In Venkatgiri also it is something similar to Uppada. Only thing is in Venkatgiri they weave it in pure cotton, which is 120 count superfine cotton. And in Uppada they do cotton, but mostly it is known for its silk. Then there is one more village near Vishakhapatnam in Srikakulam district called Pondur, where Jamdani has been there since a very long time, and which they weave it in khadi. Okay. So I, by chance, in around 2003-04, my dear friend Mamta, she introduced me to this weaver, and this village knew the basic technique of Jamdani. They used to weave some simple khadi saris with small booties, and they knew the basic technique of khadi, the weaving technique of Jamdani. I have changed the whole design concept there. So here we have their concept is you draw a paper and you put it underneath the warp. They look at the design and weave it. The design is the reference point here. In Bangladesh, it is the design is there, but it's in their mind. They count the threads and do it. In Uppada, a jala is tied, which helps the lifting the warp. In Srikakulam, it is the whole paper, whatever the size you want. It can be 1 meter, 2 meter. I drew a whole paper of 6 meters, which is the length of a sari. We draw the whole paper, and according to the design, they lift the yarn. It may be 1 thread, 2 threads, or 10 threads. You lift the yarn and weave it. So we have a warp, we have a weft, and the Jamdani, the design is called extra weft. Now you come to Paithan, Maharashtra, which is one of the most intricate Jamdani techniques. It's intricate, more intricate than Bangladesh also. Why? Because here you have the warp and you don't have the weft, which makes the fabric. Okay. You have the warp, you have the extra weft, and the extra weft itself makes your body of the fabric. Like your design plus wherever there is no design, the base of the fabric is made with that extra weft. So you have the Jamdani running through all over the length of the width of the fabric. Whereas in Pondur Khadi, you have the extra weft only where the design is. And when you put the weft, that makes your body. Whereas in Paithani, it is the extra weft which is making the body also. So you have more solid colors in Paithani than your Srikakulam. Then you come to Kota. Kota has a small jacquard machine kind of thing on the loom, in which the design is fed and the threads come out, which helps in lifting the warp to do the Jamdani. So that is a little easier process than your Pondur or your Paithan Jamdani. And that same kind of process which happens in Kota is happening in Banaras also. So they have a small machine kind of thing which helps in lifting the yarn. So because of these small jacquard machines, you get more minute designs than your Pondur Khadi or your Paithan Khadi. In Pondur and Paithan, what happens is you need to count the thread according to the design. So maybe if the weaver had to lift only 2 threads, he will lift about 3 to 4 threads. Yeah. It depends on the skill of the weaver here. Whereas in Banaras and Kota, when the design is fed, if it has to lift a single thread, the single thread only will get lifted because of that jacquard. And you can do the Jamdani. So you can have very fine, thin lines, which you can say a single line of warp. So in one warp, there are about 80 threads. In
Hmm.
one warp, 80 threads. So your sari width is say 48 inches. So 48 into 80, you can do a calculation ki how many threads are there in the whole. It's almost about 4,000 threads in the warp. So 80 threads in the warp, 80 threads in the weft.
Yeah.
So imagine when a design is drawn, you have to lift out of 80 the correct 2 or 3 threads to do the jamdani, to put the correct design. If you take extra threads, the design goes out. If you take less threads, the design goes out. So you need to be very, very careful here. So in the villages, the weavers teach their children from the age of say 10, 11. So that is the right time to learn about this whole weave technique. And when the weaver is about say 50, 55 age, their eyes become little weak. Because of the whole day ka concentration sitting and weaving, because there are so fine threads that their eyes become weak, their fingers become little uneven because of weaving. So the finer the designs, then the youngsters weave that, because then their fingers are little nimble, delicate. So they can lift that single thread or 2 threads.
Correct.
So these are all the places in India where jamdani happens. Each one does it in own different way. So jamdani is the weave technique. It depends on the design and the texture. Like in Kota, before they used to weave only cotton, I started getting them in weaving into silk, tussar. Now I'm doing muga and matka. I'm trying out organza. In Banaras, we do cottons, we do silk, tussar, munga, organza. And I've done on chiffon also, georgette also. I put 3 to 4 different kinds of yarn in one sari. In Srikakulam, I have added khadi with muga tussar and matka. Now I'm adding organza in with khadi. In Python also, I have done various kinds of yarns I have used. So using yarn and all that has become so easy in jamdani. Whereas in the jacquard loom, once the design is set, you need to continuously run that design. In the sense that you can't change the design. Say you can't change the color of the thread which is getting woven. You can't change the color of the, or you can't change the, like you, if you weave 6 inches and after 6 inches you want to do a different design, you can't change that. Whereas in jamdani, every 1 inch, half inch, you can change your design, you can change your yarn, you can change your color. Anything is possible. Because here you just have a paper reference and you look at it and weave it. Whereas jacquard, you won't get that. And in power loom saris, which are worse than the jacquard, so there, first of all, though, a pure fabric is never made in power loom. There is no pure cotton or a pure silk woven, because these cotton, silks, khadi threads are so delicate, they keep breaking in between. That's why when you see a pure hand woven sari, you will see small knots somewhere in the sari. So that is why, because while weaving, the threads keep breaking. So the weaver joins the threads. Whereas in power loom, these threads can't be used, these yarns can't be used. So they have to use, since they are very high powerful machines, they have to use polyester threads, art silk thread, which are very strong. They don't break. So in power loom, you have art silk and synthetics. Then in power loom, once a small design is set, a small portion. See, in jamdani, a design there is no limitation of the length of the design. For Srikakulam, Paithani, you can give 6 meters of papers. For Upada, it has to be 20 inches by 20 inches. For Kota also, it has to be about 20 inches by 40 inches we can go to, the width of the thing. In Banaras, I can give about 40 inches by 40 inches design, which will be repeated. So the jacquard, that machine is as such that they can do so much of design in it. Even in Venkatgiri and Upada, the jala is there, so there's a limitation. But in jacquard, it's about maximum 6 inches by 6 inches design, or a 4 inch by 4 inch design, which needs to be repeated all over the sari. So each one has their limitations. Plus in jacquard, you will see the floating threads behind. The zari or the thread, silk thread. Whereas the jamdani sari, the real jamdani sari, the front or the back, both are going to be equally same. That's the beauty of jamdani. I know it is a time-taking process. It is expensive. But what jamdani can offer, your jacquard or your dobby or your power loom cannot give that.
So tell me, what has been your most challenging project in jamdani to date? Because you're a man with a large canvas, so you've done so much. What would be
I started working with the weavers in the year 2000. So my first weaver was this Mr. Satyanarayana from Uppada. Okay. So first I bought saris from him and I said I would sell them. But then customers came to me and said, so these we can go and buy from him. Why will we come to you to buy? So then I started thinking, and even I was not happy with what they were doing. They were run of the mill kind of saris. So I spoke to him and I told him, ki, let me give you some designs. We can change the texture of the sari, the yarn and the colors and all. So he said, do you know how to weave a sari? First of all, you know what is jamdani and all. I am not any fashion school or a textile school graduate. So it's all by learning from the weavers. I've come up to this point. So I went to the village Uppada, stayed there for about 2-3 weeks, learned the ABC of weaving of jamdani, from the scratch of creating the design, the graphing, to the setting up of the loom, to the sizing of the yarn, dyeing of the yarn, and then the actual weaving stage. So I have been there, I have sat on the loom and learned all these things. That same way I had to do for all the other villages where I learned. So then slowly I started giving them designs. I understood each and every loom ka there is a limitation. This person itna hi kar sakta hai, isse zyada I can't push him. So in the beginning when I work with a set of weavers, it starts with, okay bhaiya, aapka kya design hai, bole hum unko improve karenge. First he needs to get used to me, of my tankiness first of all. Okay. So first year at least I try to do that ki तुम्हारा क्या है हम करते हैं, तुम्हारा ही टेक्सचर करते हैं and all that. Then the next year I start pushing them into giving my designs, more intricate designs, changing the textures, giving more shuttles in the weft. Slowly, year on year, I have been giving them the most difficult, intricate designs. And most of my viewers, they also would now, and they are in this position ki, sir, ye saal humko kitna intricate design de sakte hain? We will never say no, we will do it. I have this very good friend of mine, Mr. Lakshman Ele in Hyderabad, who's a great artist, a great painter. And somehow he was into making short films and all. So I told him, sir, why don't you make a short film about my this work in Srikakulam, the Khadi Jamdani, what I am doing and all. And he got very much interested. He went to the village. He stayed there for about 2 weeks and he shot all the whole, the process of weaving and all, and how the village has developed under me and all, and the design sense, what we give. And when he came back, he was so fascinated with the way the things, like the designs were woven. Like I could give them any design to weave, anything under the sun, anything you can think of. And he said, Gaurang, let me give you 6 of my paintings, put them on the sari, weave them in the sari.
Wow, okay.
So, and he's very well known for his paintings of Telangana women. So when I saw the painting, I said, my God, what is this? This is very difficult. You have Telangana women, you have them wearing saris, they are sitting on the floor. So the saris have that fold, that pallu has that fold, their facial expressions, their different kinds of skin tone, because if the light is falling, the shadow on the skin tone and all. So I said, how will I weave this? So it was a very big challenge for me. Till then we were weaving lots of florals and all, which I'm known for. So when I got this challenge, I said, yes, this is something very unusual and let me try this out. So I called my weavers. I showed them this. Even they said, sir, you please dye the yarns and give me, because this kind of intricate means in the skin, we have 4 to 5 shades. The sari had that kind of design, which had 3 to 4 colors. That much dyeing we will not be able to do. So they gave me the yarn. I dyed the yarn and gave them. And we started weaving. So I had to blow up the paintings, were very small size. I blew up the painting to a palluka size. They took out in digital prints and gave them to the weavers. And when the saris came, they were fabulous. They were something very, it is like textile art on textiles. It was it was very fabulous.
Which year was this, Gaurang?
2008.
Okay.
2008. And then in 2010, one of my friend had come, Lavina Baldota. She stays in Hospet, an industrialist. She had come, a very good friend of mine. And when she saw this sari that I had done this, the Lakshman Ele's painting and all in the sari, she loved the whole concept. She bought a sari and she said, this is something which I have never thought of that anyone can do. And let us get together. Let me get more artists and we can do their works in this weaving and all that. And then she sat with me and she got to understand what kind of weaving this is. Because even when she was getting the artist, she had to see that artist work and the weaving match together. Suddenly one fine day, 2015 in February, she calls me, come tomorrow to Bangalore. I have got the right artist for you. मैं तो सर पकड़ लिया कि Lakshman Ele's painting I have done, and उसके सामने Raja Ravi Verma was about 100 times more intricate than Lakshman Ele's. Means Ravi Varma's, the number of colors used, the expressions, the detailing of the gods and their human figures, you छोड़ो, पीछे का जो nature का detailing, the n number of greens. Means it was like, how is this possible at all? First of all, immediately I took some pictures and sent to my weaver and said कि ये करना है. तो said sir होगा ही नहीं बिल्कुल. I said try करते हैं, let me get this, let us work on this project, we will come out with a way and we will do it. We decided a date that 2019 we will release this project, because this was going to happen in Khadi, and Khadi, best thing is Gandhiji only. Gandhiji is known for its Khadi movement. So 2019 Gandhiji's 150th birth anniversary,
Correct.
2nd October, we were going to release this project. So I had about 4 years time to work on this. We selected about 52 paintings, which were very rare, which if you Google, you can't see them. Means they were not very common paintings of Ravi Varma, plus which were very intricate. Now here also it was a challenge for me. So I didn't want to take an easy painting also. अभी हमारे में भी कीड़ा है कि हम भी कुछ difficult जब करना है तो करना है, तो difficult ही करना है. So I selected the most difficult paintings, number one. Then we segregated the paintings in 3 concepts. The foundation helped me. Ki Gaurang, you do the women of Raja Ravi Varma, you do the godly figures of Ravi Varma, and you do the godly stories. So the godly stories are the most difficult and the most intricate ones. Because like one story which we took was the Mahabharata, where Krishna is going to meet the elders ki please ladai mat kijiye, war ko rok dijiye. So you have about 22 people in that one scene.
Wow.
In the palace sitting, and Krishna is sitting, कोई रो रहा है, कोई हंस रहा है, कोई बात कर रहा है, धृतराष्ट्र ऐसा सर पकड़ के बैठे हैं, all that. So imagine 22 facial expressions I have to weave, 22 different kind of clothing is there, plus the palace detailing in the backdrop and all. So the stories were very, very, very difficult ones. So we selected this. Then Lavina ji told me, Gaurang, खादी तो करना है, पूरा जामदानी की वीविंग हो जाएगी, प्लस गांधी जी का है, सब कुछ ऑर्गेनिक है, तो डाइस भी ऑर्गेनिक होना चाहिए, no chemicals please. Now when I came back to Hyderabad with all the 52 lithographs का digital copies, my team sat with कि each painting के साथ हमको कितने colors develop करना पड़ेगा, कितने yarns develop करना पड़ेगा. So for each painting, it was about 30 to 40 colors in each painting, which we had to develop. So on the whole, for 52, we had to develop about 600 colors.
Wow.
So you can imagine the shades of pinks, the shades of skin tone, the shades of whites we needed to do, shades of greens we needed to create, peaches, oranges, means unheard of colors, like lemon greens you wanted. And generally in your natural dyes, you have seen in the Kalamkari also, you have indigo, you have red, you have yellow, you have black, you have green. That's it. 5 colors basically. उसमें light dark shading भी नहीं कर सकते. At the most indigo में 2 या 3 shade कर सकते हैं. So this was a very difficult task. Now how to get someone to dye that 600 shades? So we needed about 200 kgs of yarn for the jamdani, not the base I'm saying, for the jamdani. So 200 kgs of yarn, and that too, it was not one single yarn. It was all different kinds of yarn I wanted to use. I wanted to show a 3D kind of effect in the painting. Like the nature, the greens of the leaves and all that, I wanted to do in a Muga Tasar yarn. Like the dhoti of Ram or someone, the clothing I wanted to do a raw silk yarn. वो कीड़ा है ना, हमें भी कुछ ना कुछ अलग करने का. So I got all these yarns together, different yarns, 200 kgs, and this 600 to be dyed. Now by chance, in the year 2017, I was working for my Lakme collection, Neil, an indigo collection, and I was sitting in Ajrakpur for printing. So Junaid Bhai, who is my printer, he's a national awardee, and we were both talking कि नया project क्या हो रहा है and all that. I said कि ऐसा ऐसा है और 600 color develop करना है. And he said, give them to me, send your 2 girls, they have to stay here for at least 4-5 months, and I will develop those 600 colors for you. Because you have to mix the right kind of colors, put it in one temperature to get a shade. Then you put it in another different temperature, either a hot or a cold, then you get a different shade. So he had to do that whole day. So my girls were sitting there and getting this done. So he took about 6 to 7 months and पूरा 600 color उसने develop करके दिया हमको. Next came to the weaving stage. So around 2016, my work was going on very well in Srikakulam village, and all my weavers were very happy sitting in their home and weaving, and they were making enough money and all. So a group of women came to us, about 4 or 5 ladies came to us, who were into selling vegetables or working in the fields. मतलब डेली लेबर काम करते थे वो लोग, कि वो लोग आए मेरे मास्टर वीवर के पास एंड बोले कि हमको भी वीविंग सिखाइए. हम देख रहे हैं कि ये जो ट्रेडिशनल वीवर्स हैं जो सालों से मतलब एंसेस्टर्स के साथ वीविंग, इनके जमाने से पुरखों से वीविंग हो रही है, दे मेक गुड इनफ मनी. आप उनको ईयर राउंड काम देते हैं, अच्छा पैसा देते हैं, उनके 3-3 फ्लोर के घर हो गए एक एक के. सो व्हाई डोंट यू टीच अस, वी वुड आल्सो लाइक टू weave for you. And believe me, these are not your any weaving community, these are just a daily manual labor करने वाली ladies थी. तो 5 ladies आई. तो मेरे वीवर को मैं तभी वो टाइम पे I was pushing him कि now you are doing your weft, warp, weft and extra weft का जामदानी कर रहे हो. I would like to do the Pathan जामदानी in your village where it is warp and only the extra weft. Because at that time I had gone to Calico Museum and I had seen khadi में पैठनी. So I wanted those designs to be woven in the same technique in this village. So then my weaver said, if I'm teaching these women these things, I will teach them the pattern technique of weaving, because my traditional weavers were not ready to do without the weft. They wanted to put the weft. So this was a good way of teaching these women weavers without the weft. We were putting only the warp and the extra weft. So then we started weaving the Calico Museum ka designs with these ladies, and believe me, within 3 to 4 months they became such an expert that they replicated those Calico ka saris. And then by chance this Ravi Varma came up, this whole project came up, and I said nahi, ye wo weavers ko nahi dena, ye sirf ye women weavers karenge, because I want that color intensity to come out. So if we are putting a warp and a weft and we are doing extra jamdani, the weft is eating away my jamdani ka color. So I'm going to put only the warp and the weft. So my color intensity comes out. So it is as if when you are putting the painting for display with the sari, it will be ki dono ka ekdam replica hai, colors bhi. Because when you are painting, red color will become very intensified. Whereas when I'm giving a blue base with a red weft in this thing, the blue and red becomes little subdued. So we started the project. The weaving, actual weaving started in sometime in 2017 mid, and we could finish only 30 saris till 2019 2nd October. The day we released the whole project, the last sari came in flight on 2nd October morning. So we were ready with 30 saris. I'll show you one sari right now. 1 minute. So this is one of the women of Raja Ravi Varma. You can see the detailing in the nature.
Yeah, my God.
This is the pallu. We have done only the pallu. So it's about 40 inches by 48 inches, and that's the base, the yellow color.
Okay.
So the khadi used here is 150 count.
Okay.
And now I'm showing you is called Bhishma's Promise. So this is when Bhishma is young and he goes and meets that Satyavati, na?
Yeah.
He wants to marry Satyavati, but the father says no karke. So he goes and meets the father. So here it is, Bhishma's Promise.
No one will say it's not a painting.
Yeah. So you can say that. See, for me, what happened was the base color decided, my painting decided my base color.
Yeah.
So the original painting had lots of shades of greens. The skin tone had little dark green kind of thing, the military green kind of thing. So I had to put a pista green in the warp. So that green and this green together gives me this painting ka effect.
Yes. Fantastic this is.
Look at these fishes, the detailing.
My God.
Look at the detailing of their nails. And look at the thin lines, the jawline. See the jawline?
Yes. Yes.
So these black lines I had to give. See, in painting, because of the light and dark shades, you can define your lines. Okay, the jawline or your nose line. But in weaving, if I had not given this black line, which I had made a mistake in my first sari, so what happens is this blends together, the green color.
Yes.
So that jaw line is not defined. So from my next sari, I realized I made a mistake. So we had to define these thin lines. So this jawline, if you see here, is woven with by lifting a single thread of warp. So in 1 inch, in that 48 threads, you have to lift one right single thread. You see, it is going in a perfect shape, the jaw.
Yes.
You see, or the mustache. You see the outline of the mustache. You see the outline of the nose, the eyes. Look at the expression of the father of Satyavati. Okay, what I am now showing you next is a Shesh Narayana.
Oh God, this is gorgeous. And gods are very difficult because you got to get it exact, right?
You need to get the correct expression.
Exactly,
Look
yeah.
at the jewelry, look at the detailing in the jewelry. Type of
Yes.
means each and every bead is defined.
Yeah.
You have rubies, you have emeralds, you have pearls. Each and every one is defined correctly. The outline, the single black thread, then inside the correct color of the thread. Look at the lotus.
Yes, yeah. My God, it's beautiful.
So this is one of my most difficult projects. I am going to show you some of the drawings how we create baskets. So this is a drawing for the Khadi Jamdani which we are doing.
Hmm. I can recall this as a paitani, the tissue paitani that you did.
I can do this in Paithani also. I can do this in Khadi also.
Yes.
So after the drawing, then it is on my mood कि किधर भी जाने दो इसको करके. Yeah, so it's an inspiration from the Islamic art or the Mughal architecture. So this is going to go to Banaras to be woven in organza.
Wow.
Look at the intricacy. इसको drawing करते करते about 3 महीना लग गया हमको. तो imagine drawing को इतना time लगा है from the concept stage idea से drawing से अभी weaver के पास जाएगा, इसका ग्राफ बनेगा पहले तो. ग्राफ बन के लूम सेटअप होगा. लूम सेटअप होके जब वीविंग शुरू होगी, in a day maybe 1/4 inch may be woven in a day, I'm saying. So the first piece from the concept stage till the sari comes about 2 years.
Wow.
About 2 years.
Where are you going to display your Ravi Verma? Are you going to put it? I remember you had said you wanted to put it in the museum.
So we started with Bombay NGMA on 2nd October. From there, we took it to Ahmedabad. And then we took it to Delhi, Hyderabad. Next is Baroda. Maybe if everything is okay, August 15, it will be in Baroda. Then you host us and we'll come to Dubai.
Oh, absolutely. Completely. I want to actually touch and feel that sari, really.
It's like one of the most softest khadi. So in Bangladesh, the weavers, I have a few set of weavers which weave in 300 count khadi, which you call as muslin. Muslin is nothing but the most finest khadi. Khadi count goes up to 600 to 700. But we don't have weavers who can weave that. Max we have is 300 count. So each sari takes about a year and a half there to weave. I'll show you one of a masterpiece which has taken about 3.5 years to weave. Okay. In India, the maximum the weaver can weave is a 150 count khadi, which we have used in Ravi Verma. And that too only in Srikakulam. Nowhere else can they weave 150 count ka khadi. Here. So I'm showing you a Bangladeshi, a real Dhakai Jamdani. It's very soft. It will you can say na wo anguthi mein se nikal jati hai. You are able to see the zari.
Yes.
But यहाँ पे body में छोटा छोटा dots भी है.
When it comes very close, yes.
हाँ, zari दिखा है, बस बीच में छोटा छोटा dot है जो white पे white है वो.
Okay, okay. Yes, yeah, अभी दिख रहा है.
दिख रहा है?
हाँ, दिख रहा है.
तो इसका base ही नहीं दिख रहा है अपने को. That is the dots and the zari.
Got it.
So it's a museum piece recreated.
Oh, okay.
Can you see the design? Can you make it out?
Yes, I can see the animals and.
So these are all again from Mughal architecture. अपना एक कमान टाइप का डिजाइन बनाया है and each one has its different animal. And that's the border.
Wow. Where does this get woven, Gaurav?
This is Srikakulam, Andhra. Next I'm showing you is a kota. So this I have done it in a matka fabric, silk by matka. Means in the picture you won't be able to feel. You need to come to Hyderabad and see this. See the design.
My God, this is fabulous too.
Means when we are giving a graph to the weaver, it is about 20 inches by 20 inches, right? So that 20 inches is being repeated. But we draw the design in such a way when it is repeated, you won't be able to make out कि ये कहाँ पे repeat आया है. So this is an organza. It's a Banarsi, Jamdani. So I have used a zari, gold zari, silver zari, and a muga in the branch. Okay, you see these things. These are these designs.
Yeah.
Okay, so you see the base is a light sea green blue.
Yes.
Then I have a purple here, dark purple.
Yeah.
I have a dark purple here, and I have a light mauve inside. So this technique is the Paithani technique here. You understand? The
Yes.
weft इसका जा रहा है सी ग्रीन का, यहाँ पे मैंने पर्पल दिया है, यहाँ पे लाइट मोव दिया है, तो मैंने वो काट काट के बनाया. In Banaras they say that one word is very famous called rang kaat.
Rang kaat, correct.
What does that mean? That means कि हम वेफ्ट में जब वेफ्ट डाल रहे हैं, एक वेफ्ट को काट के दूसरा कलर डाल रहे हैं, फिर वो उसको काट के तीसरा डाल रहे हैं. That means रंग को काट रहे हैं हम. तो रंग काट. Actually, that is the Paithani technique of weaving, of cutting and weaving. So that is what basically Jamdani is. It's the most versatile, but again at the same time a very time-taking process, laborious process, and expensive process of weaving a sari.
Clearly, if it takes so long to weave a sari, it obviously will be so expensive and time consuming.
It will be. See, the labor, what happens is, ऐसा नहीं है कि साड़ी बनने के बाद हम उसको वीवर को पे करते हैं. टू कीप देम मोटिवेटेड कि हमारे पास 2-3 साल तक जब वो एक साड़ी वीव हो रही है, वी कीप पेइंग देम मंथली एज अ सैलरी. सो कभी उसका हिसाब नहीं होता है. अबाउट 20 to 30,000 मंथली हम देते ही रहते हैं. अगर 2 साल लगती है उसको वीव करने के लिए, तो इमेजिन, तो हमारा 7-7.5 लाख रुपए तो उसी में चले गया.
करेक्ट,
राइट. बट वी डोंट काउंट दैट थिंग. लास्ट में उसको थोड़ा बहुत और दे देते हैं, हम अंदाजा एक हिसाब लगा के दे देते हैं कि ये साड़ी इतने की हो गई करके. द वीवर कीप्स गेटिंग हिज मनी every year, every month and whole year.
My question of how do you actually manage to keep the weaver's interest in your grand projects? Because your projects are very grand and they span across.
Yeah, so that's what I told you. See what happens is the weaver have the knowledge of weaving. They don't have the knowledge of designing. They don't have the knowledge of selling. They don't have the knowledge of what customer wants, right? They are good at weaving, the technicality. Design, it's my mind thought process. I get up, you must have seen, even I keep messaging you morning 2:30, 3 o'clock. That is the time I get my concept. Suddenly something comes in my mind. It comes in my mind immediately. My team WhatsApp group, I send off messages. You draw this thing. This is the new thing which I want it. Then I decide this will go to this set of weavers. ये कोटा में बनेगा या पैठन में बनेगा या उपाड़ा में बनेगा. I just give it to them. Then I specify these are the yarns which I need. This is the technique which I need. This is how you are going to blend 2 or 3 yarns and each design में ये लगने वाला है. If the weaver is able to source the yarn, well and good. If it's a new thing for them, I am giving the yarn to them. I dye them. Some of my weavers, like after many years, I came to know that each village had ready yarns available, which were very limited number of colors. Like in Paithan, if you see a Paithani sari, you will get to see in the Jamdani, you will get to see red, pink, yellow, purple, green. Only 3-4 colors. And when we were giving our drawings and all to our weavers, we were using all different kinds of shades in it. And weaver कभी बना के लाता नहीं था, तो मैं हमेशा इनको यही बोलता था, ये क्या है, तुम हम जो कलर देते वो नहीं आता है. Then one fine day he tells me, सब हमारे गांव में ये 5 ही कलर मिलते हैं, उससे ज्यादा हमको मिलते नहीं है. ऐसे पहले बोलना चाहिए ना. I will source and give you, I will dye the yarn and give you everything. Then when he said this, then we started giving our yarns dyed and all that in our colors. So that is where everywhere I had started doing it. So more variety started coming out. Then they know कि साहब ने हमको ये डिजाइन दिया है, means we have to make it at any cost. उन्होंने ये कलर दिया है तो वो भी मुझे बनाना ही पड़ेगा. अगर मेरे पास यान नहीं है तो वो लाके दे देंगे कुछ भी करके. So they are ready to do what I am telling them to do, because they get paid also very well.
That is
it's not that I'm giving a design to them and I'm giving a restriction कि I will pay you only 10,000 rupees to weave this sari, I will give you only 3 months to weave this sari. I said no, you take your time. You tell me what amount you want, I will give you. But I need what I have thought. This is the color combination, this is the texture I want, these are the designs, this is the intricacy I want. You give me that, I'll pay you what you want. And that's how I work.
So how often, when a sari like the Ravi Verma is getting made, how often do you actually go and intervene and check?
For Ravi Verma, me and my team used to go every 15 days. because every inch ka yarn we used to go select from those 600 colors, give it to them. We used to check, because in the beginning 3 to 4 sarees went wrong. My master weaver couldn't make them the way we wanted it, what we had told him. Even though everything was explained to him properly, वो उसका दिमाग लगाया बीच में. I tell my weavers, तुम्हारा दिमाग मत लगाओ, तुम्हारा दिमाग सिर्फ वीविंग में लगाओ. कलर्स वलर्स जो हम बोलते हैं हम ही करेंगे, हमको ही मालूम है क्या चाहिए. I'm very strict about it. तुम्हारा दिमाग मत लगाओ. If I'm giving you a particular shade of red, don't go and put orange or a maroon into it. When I'm saying red, it has to be red. I go wrong sometimes. It's not that I don't go wrong. Sometimes when I imagine a design on the paper, when we put it, it looks beautiful. But when the sari comes, it doesn't turn out what I wanted. So we stop the loom. That's okay. We make mistakes.
So tell me, you said initially somewhere in your conversation that, you know, you have these young boys and girls who have taken up weaving. So when I speak to a lot of people, there is this huge doom and gloom ki, you know, next generation kam nahi kar raha hai, they don't want to take it up, it is dying and all that. Are you seeing something?
See, I will tell you one thing. I'll start with, I work from Rajasthan, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra, Telangana, Madhya Pradesh, Bengal, Uttar Pradesh, Kashmir also I work in Cambodia, I work in Uzbekistan, I work in Bangladesh, I'm working in Indonesia, I'm working in lots of places. I don't work in Orissa. There's a big reason there. I love Orissa ikat. It is one of the most finest pattern, और अपना आंध्रा तो कुछ भी नहीं है उसके सामने. Single thread का इकत करते हैं वो लोग. The most beautiful single ikat I have ever seen. Any design you give, they are ready to do. But their mindset is, हम इतना ही कलर बनाएगा, हम यही कपड़ा बनाएगा. I want my silk to be more lustrous. You have worn so many of my uppadas and other silk saris. My kanjivarams you have worn. How lustrous they are. There is no starch in it, right? Even though the sari is little heavy in weight, because I use heavy silk, but at the same time they are soft. They fall like a crepe sari or a chiffon sari, right?
Yeah.
But Orissa sari, when you go to, they have little starch in it. Their silk is very thin. And since it is thin, they need to put starch to it, because while weaving, it keeps breaking a lot. So when you put starch, it doesn't break. So they are stiff. The colors, they have their limitation. हम यही border bow बनाएगा, हम यही body का color बनाएगा, border का color black ही रहेगा, body का color maroon रहेगा. That's the most common color. Then they are not ready to change at all. One more thing with them is, since the labor there is very cheap, the food and all that is very it's very very low price there. आज उनके जेब में 50 रुपया है, आज नहीं काम करेगा हम. वो 50 रुपए कम खत्म होगा मेरा, तब मैं काम करना शुरू करूंगा. So there is no such thing कि आज हम काम शुरू किए तो हमको 2 महीना 3 महीने में साड़ी देना है, मतलब देना है. They will work according to जब हमको मर्जी आए तब करना है. So that attitude when you have, you are not going to go a long way. See, Orissa is known for its ikat from long time. But in today's time, it's not only textiles. Any field you go to, every day you need to innovate to sustain.
Correct.
Right? Every day you need to innovate. आज गली गली एक डिजाइनर बैठे हुए हैं. गली गली अपना पावर लूम भी होता है काम. मशीन पे धर्मावरम देख लो. धर्मावरम में पूरा कांजीवरम का पूरा कॉपी होता है. कांजीवरम में एक साड़ी बनने 20 से 25 दिन लगता है. इन धर्मावरम एक दिन में 3 साड़ी निकालता है. They are all semi-mechanized and power looms there. The same thing. My kanjivarams get copied in Dharmavaram. They get copied in Surat also. In Dharmavaram, you'll get my sari for 10,000 rupees. In Surat, you'll get it for 1,000 rupees. Right? But still, you come and buy my kanjivarams because I innovate in colors, designs, textures, and every day. Every day, I have to innovate to keep my what do you say, my business running. That same way I tell the weavers, आपको रोज इनोवेट करना है. हम आपको डिजाइन जो भी दे रहे हैं, आपको वो बनाना ही पड़ेगा. आप नहीं रोक सकते. मतलब you can't say कि हम ये नहीं करेंगे, हम जमाने से जो करते हैं वो ही कर रहे हैं. So on the way that weavers have lost it. So then the younger generation, what will they do sitting at there? They will go off to different other jobs, na? I have youngsters working from the age group. मतलब कोई छोड़ के जाता ही नहीं है. Plus we get in technology. We are always on computer designs and all that. उनके पास भी computer है. Communication is very easy and all. They're fine. Their creativity is coming out. See, these youngsters, they have learned weaving technique from छोटेपन से ना. तो जब उनको काम मिल रहा है तो क्यों गांव छोड़ के जाएंगे दूसरी जगह काम करने के लिए?
Correct. So true. So tell me, post-COVID, and I think handloom as an industry has had a series of issues. It started with demonetization, uske baad GST, uske baad COVID. So what do you as a designer think of what are your hopes for the future? Pre-COVID का क्या normal है?
नहीं, नॉर्मल तो हो जाएगा, अभी तो थोड़ा बैड टाइम चल रहा है, सबका चल रहा है, सिर्फ मेरा नहीं, हर बिजनेस में सबका चल रहा है. Everyone, no one is buying, no one wants to buy now, but we are very hopeful it will pick up in next 2 to 3 months. People will come back into action, people will start buying. And yes, this 2 months in lockdown when I was at home, it was a very very good time because I always creep कि मुझे time नहीं मिलता है drawing करने के लिए, concepts के लिए, whole day I have to manage my either my shops or my this production. मतलब designing के लिए बैठ के new thoughts process के लिए मुझे time नहीं मिलता. I was longing for this, and believe me, when I need this kind of thing, I just take a flight and run away to another city, put myself in a hotel and lock it, and then I start drawing, switch off the phone and draw. Or else when I go to America in the long flights, I used to sit and draw. So I was craving for this time, and I got it in 2 months. I've come up with lots of designs, concepts and all. I phone pe baithe I started new looms also. Naye gaon mein weavers pe I reached out. Like in Tamil Nadu, I reached out to one village which weaves khadi, very simple saris. So I reached out to them, gave them designs immediately, and they started weaving it. So work was going on for me all over. New thought process are coming in, new design, new colors have come in. I was sitting with my shade card कि मैं और नया क्या कर सकता हूँ, मैं नए कलर्स क्या डेवलप कर सकता हूँ, किसको क्या मिला के कर सकता हूँ. So all that had happened, and all that process is going on now. Then this COVID made me start selling online also, which I was always against.
Never wanted to do.
Because for me, you have to come to me to feel my sarees and buy. I just don't want you to just click and see, ये अच्छा दिख रहा है उसके ऊपर तो मैं खरीद लेती हूँ. And then later regret कि अरे no रे, I don't like it. The fabric is like that, and it's such an expensive sari. So mera paisa waste gaya. I don't want that to happen. I want you to be happy. So it was always for me, you come to my stores, or when I have exhibitions, you come there, you drape it, 10 sarees kholo, drape karo, pehen ke dekho, maza lo uska, see the comfort level, see the design wow factor, and then buy. But then these 2 months you won't believe, some brides have called me who were getting married in June or July, and they said, see, you can't come to our city, we can't come to Hyderabad to you to buy, so we are ready to buy on video call. And I sold to 2-3 brides on video call. Other than brides, I sold to some of my regular customers also. So I felt that now is the right time. People are understanding. Anyhow, people know what my saris are, which kind they are. So let me start an online thing. So I started for my fabric store also. I started for my outfits and saris also. I started. And in last 1 week, which we have started, we have got a superb response.
Very good. So पूरा program COVID में बना लिया हमारा पैसा post COVID लेने का.
One thing is there, I'll tell you very proudly, once anyone starts wearing my outfits or saris, they will never go out anywhere. They won't buy from anyone else.
I'm living proof of that.
Yeah. Means the purity of the yarns which I use, the way the sari is structured. My saris are 6 meters in length, proper 48 inches in width. Means the blouse, the sari, the whole thing, the way we divide the pallu, the border and all. I'm mad about creating huge borders. People come and tell me, Arey, we are short. How will we wear huge borders? We will look more short. I said, that's a wrong notion. You wear big borders. What you're wearing is also a huge border.
Yeah.
You wear big borders and you look more taller. I made young, small, petite brides who were about, say, 5 feet. I made them wear 20 inches long, high borders, and they were so happy. They come back to me for more big border saris.
So tell me, you have obviously dressed so many celebrities, and so you're a go-to designer for some of the most brilliant, stunning.
Who wears saris? Who wears saris?
Yes. So, who does? Since we're talking Jamdani, who is your favorite muse for Jamdani? Who, when you think of a celebrity for Jamdani, who?
For Jamdani, Kiranji is the best. Kiran Kherji. The way she wears my paitanis or my khadis, and she's worn N number. She has N number of my saris. She started buying from me in the year 2010 when I opened my first store in Bombay. She's been buying all my saris and wearing. She wore for India Got Talent. She's worked for me for 4 or 5 Lakme shows and other shows. And in Parliament every day she wears. Whenever the Parliament is in session, she wears only my saris. And like, and she wears outfits now. She started wearing lots of outfits also. She lives in my clothes.
Yeah,
And for Kanjivarams, Vidyaji is the best. Then I had shown her my big border Kanjivarams and all that. And that was the time I was doing my 1 Lakme, and I told her, why don't you please come for my show and walk for it karke. So she said, okay. And that is the time my first Kanjivaram mein maine organza banaya tha, light onion pink wala purple border ka. Pehla piece aaya tha, and I wanted her to wear that. And when I showed her the sari, Gaurang, organza, full jayega, I will look double the size and big border. I said, no, Vidyaji, this is the most softest fabric. Please wear it and see. And she said, okay, tu jo bola wo bola, theek hai. So in the hotel, she got ready, and I was draping my models before the show. And suddenly from back, पीछे से आके धप मारती है मेरे को. And she's like, देख मैं कितनी अच्छी लग रही हूँ. I'm feeling so good. Thank you for giving me this organza Kanjivaram. And because of you, I'm wearing such big borders, or else never in my life I would have worn such big borders. So she's mad about my Kanjivarams.
If you're short, big borders won't look good. It's a
You
misconception.
look more taller. You look. It's actually the whole concept of how you wear the sari, how you accessorize it. Like lots of people come to me, हमको ना young looking साड़ी चाहिए. And when I show some साड़ी, ये तो मेरे दादी पहनेंगी वैसी साड़ी. I said, see, I have clients who wear a 3,000 rupees basic cotton sari, whose age group is 20-25. Even they wear this kind of sari. It's how you make your blouse, how you wear the sari. A sari is for every age group. You can't say ये बुढ़ों का साड़ी है और ये जवानों का साड़ी है करके. Every sari looks good on you.
So who is the celebrity or any personality that you wish you had dressed up?
रेखा.
है ना?
एक बाकी है अभी बस. Last.
Yes.
Rekha. I will do one day, 100%.
You really should. I can imagine how stunning she will look.
She's my what you call my inspiration for Kanjivarams.
Absolutely.
Whatever I do in Kanjivarams, first what I see is her. Means any sari I make, I imagine her wearing that, the huge borders and her jewelry and the way she carries it. She's outstanding.
Absolute inspiration. So Gaurang, thank you so much. The session was so interesting. I actually didn't know there was so much of, I know Jamdanis. I have bought a lot of your saris. I appreciate Jamdanis. But what you showed, the work today, particularly the Raja Ravi Verma paintings, they are jaw-dropping and eye-popping, really. I mean, it's amazing. And thank you so much for spending time and, so patiently answering all my questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you for watching our weekly episodes on Touring Talkies. Do stay tuned for future updates on our episodes on our Facebook page and Instagram page. Do leave your valuable comments, feedback, and suggestions right below the video. Thank you so much.